Hey, what's up everyone? We have a BR600 today that is having a particular problem, and we are going to be doing a full tune-up on it in addition to replacing a couple pieces. Let me see if you can find out what the problem is. So, it's stalling. You give it full throttle. Well, hold on there. Over 90% of you, according to YouTube, are not currently subscribed. You're watching this video, but you're currently not subscribed. So I'm going to welcome you to subscribe at the end if this helped you out. I work on a lot of machines, so maybe the machine you're watching is going to be something you own, but who knows? Maybe you own a generator, a pressure washer, a big mower, a chainsaw, a variety of things. The only way to know if I'm going to fix it in the future is by subscribing, and maybe I get to the one that you own and can help you out then too. So I welcome you to subscribe, put a thumbs up if it does help you out. Back to your normal video. And it stalls, falls flat. It will eventually pick itself up, but it takes a long time. And this was running for like a good 35-45 seconds before I even turned you on. So it should be warm enough to work. And trust me, I let this run for like 4 or 5 minutes and it doesn't matter. It does the exact same thing. So we're going to see what exactly the problem is and do a couple tune-ups at the same time. So what you just saw was me running it for about 2 minutes outside, bringing it back inside and having to replace the fuel. It's like 75% there. I'm sure if you were to run a little bit longer, it might evacuate more of the fuel out, but the fuel was not perfect, but it also did not fix all the problem. It's close. You could live with it like this, but the fuel, first thing to go, so I replaced it, so we still have a little bit more to go. To make it easier for filming, I'm going to take off the cover. There's a couple screws, top, bottom, and also the air filter cover, 2 screws, whole thing comes off. Also need to take off the recoil, same thing, couple screws, comes right off. No big issue there. You don't have to do it this way, but it's just going to be a whole lot easier, especially if you're going to be doing what we're doing next. It is kind of required, but if you don't, if you just want to change the air filter, which I'm going to do, probably would make a pretty good difference, because this one is okay. I actually think it's removed. I threw it away already, but just know that it probably would make things a little bit better, because right now with no air filter, it's just pulling straight air. Like it needs to kind of have a little bit of a hindrance there to kind of get the mix right. So just know that you could do that. But to do everything we're going to do today, we do need to take off the cover, so I'm going to do that now. I wasn't going to show this part, but this is the screw that came out of the recoil. It's actually this one, I believe. No, it's one on the bottom. That's kind of weird. Let's take a look. Maybe we have a different problem. These are a T27, by the way. Should come right off. So a few things that it likes to get hung up on though. It is a Stihl, so it can make itself difficult to work on. It's doing its purpose in life. There we go. Ooh, boy. Yeah, it's a little gooey in there. Look at that. So the main part that I want to look at is going to be the spark arrestor. But I want to check this because that could very well be plugged and causing a lot of our problem. I've just loosened these. It's been sitting for like 15-20 minutes, so it's not that warm anymore, at least. That's the screen. Ooh, that's a little warm actually. Ooh. Ow. Ow, 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 ow. Okay, that's better. but it's not horrible. You can see through it, but it is on its way of being clogged. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pair of pliers, hold on to the end of it, take MAP gas, you use propane, carb cleaner, and a toothbrush, whatever you want to do. We're going to get it cleaned up. If you do use the method I'm going to use, it has to get red hot. When something gets red hot, it burns off the carbon, and then you just blow it off and it's clean. So I'm going to do that. So here's something I wanted to point out. So this is a 600, but it's 4 mix. You can tell because the little cap by the spark plug is the valve cover cap, or valve cover. If we don't have, I'm going to be adjusting this afterwards no matter what, but I want to run this without adjusting just to see if what I think is the problem. But if for any reason we need to come back, just know that just because you don't see the little cover on the top doesn't mean that this doesn't have valves. It is indeed a 4 mix engine. Hey, so we have everything done, and we're going to take a look and see if it worked. Stay tuned for the end. I'll explain a couple other things I would do if this doesn't work, but I have a feeling it will. So we have cleaned the spark arrestor, put the fuel tank out, good fresh gas, that's key. And also, I didn't change the spark plug yet, but there is a brand new filter, air filter in there, and fuel filter. We saw the fuel filter made no issue or made no difference. Fuel filters are really only necessary when they come to a point where they no longer let fuel in. They could be too plugged and it's starving for fuel, which could be the reason why this is having that problem, which is why I did it originally. 95% of the time, no, it's not. Let's give it a try. I did prime it. I was getting a little worried there. It is cold. I've been going back and forth a couple other projects. I had to go to the store in the meantime. So it's been like an hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half between the last time it ran. So it's like 30 something degrees outside. So it runs. So basically the common problems of this bad fuel, plug spark arrestor was this problem. Common occurrence. You will not believe how many times I see someone who puts fuel in it, maybe right now it's February, maybe in November, thinking it's going to be okay. No, it's not okay. That's a horrible time, especially if you live in a cold area. Fuel itself would just kind of go bad due to the ethanol in it. Don't do that. If you put non-ethanol fuel in there, you're fine. This is ethanol fuel. Put non-ethanol in there, fresh, runs like a champ, cleaned the spark arrestor. We were good to go. The reason why it bogged down in the beginning was because it was cold, but after it warmed up, it went fine, so I'm not getting worried too much about it. In fact, let's just do it right now. No choke. See what happens. And it's not even fully warmed up yet, and it's running just fine. So I'm completely happy with that. Let me leave you with this. Have a good night. Follow me on Instagram at SmallEngine101. And if you like what you see, put a thumbs up. That helps me a lot. I'll catch you in the next video. You have a good rest of your day.